Can you hear me? Hey, hey, hey. Gotta do it for the people in the back. Can you hear me? Can you see me? My life's in motion. So let me see if I can put my phone down this time, actually. I don't know. We're going to see. The last time we had a little bit of a trouble. So is everyone here? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Let me head on over to see. You guys can hear and you can see me? Great. Awesome. All right, good. And, you know, I go live two places. I go live on both my Facebook group and if you're watching via the YouTube link that I gave you. Woo, woo. Awesome. All right. So let me pin this to the top of the group page. Just bear with me a moment. So that way the people who are here, let's hope that this is the right thing. All right. So I'm excited because you guys have completed week 2 of the Live Richer Challenge, right? You guys can see me clearly, right? I'm like 2 different places. I'm like, So you guys have completed week 2 of the Live Richer Challenge, which is super awesome because there's only 3 weeks. So that means you are 2/3 of the way there. A little math for you. And I'm excited because every week we go over the tasks from the week we just completed. Let me just pin this post. And so we're going to go over this week's task. The first week, and so one, make sure you tag your accountability partner, text her, let her know that that we're live, and I'm going to answer your questions from this past week. So for those of you who are like, what's the Live Richer Challenge? Well, one, hi, my name is Tiffany Aliche. I'm much better known as the Budgetnista. You'll see me switching back and forth because I'm looking at 2 different screens. I'm much better known as a Budgetnista. I'm a financial educator, and I am the founder of Dreamcatchers, which you are now a part of because you're doing the challenge. And I also created the Live Richer Challenge. It's an annual challenge that I do every year with the Dreamcatchers. It's totally free, and it's my give back to y'all to help you get started. And not only just to help you get started, but to help you move forward with your financial goals. So the Live Richer Challenge Net Worth Edition is what we're talking about now. So all of the links that I'm going to talk about today, so like the Live Richer Challenge Net Worth Edition is actually in the description of this video. But if someone can type in lrcnetworth.com, lrcnetworth.com. So that's just that's where you sign up for free. If you happen to catch us and you don't know what the challenge is, it's totally free. It's 3 weeks of me giving you step-by-step guidance of how to achieve the theme of the challenge. And this one is how to achieve a higher net worth. So week 1, we already went over last week, which is all about a wealthy mindset. How do you rethink about your finances? What is net worth? What is currently your net worth? What is net worth made out of? And we know that now because it's the difference between what I own and what I owe. So that was all week 1. And week 2, which we just completed, is all about increasing your net worth. So I gave you some specific things that you can do to increase your net worth. How'd you feel about it? You got your book, Deborah? Ow. So I always do, for those of you who watch, I do my Vanna Black, which means I show you exactly what the book looks like or where you can get it on Amazon. The link for this book is also in the description of this video. All right. So let's go over it. Let's go over week 2, and I'm gonna take your questions. All right. So literally, I'm just gonna open up the book. Week 2. So week 2 starts with day 8. Day 8. So let me see. The name of day 8 was increasing your net worth. What was today's task? Oh, learning the fundamental steps necessary to increase your net worth, right? So how you rock this task on day 8 was I gave you a budget. And I should have had that book. Oh, I do. Look at me. Prepared. Hold on. So it was the 1-week budget, right? So I gave you the first chapter of the 1-week budget for free, right? And it's also available on Amazon. But I gave you this, and I said to do your budget, and then I also gave you a breakdown of the snowball effect to get rid of your debt. Because if you're going to raise your net worth, you have to honestly start by getting on a budget, and you have to reduce your debt. Because part of net worth is reducing how much you owe, right? So that was part of day 8. Does anybody have any questions about that? And then I even gave you, so I'm not a student loan expert, but my friend Angela Housey is a student loan expert. And so she was on my podcast. Oh, I forgot to put the link to the podcast. I'm gonna put that in the description of the video. She was a guest on my podcast. And me and my friend Mandy have a podcast called Brown Ambition. And Angela came on and she talked about student loan forgiveness and like broke it down. So I'm not a student loan expert by far. I brought Angela on because she is. And learn why saving while repaying debt is also imperative. So that was kind of like what you learned on day 8. Did anybody have any questions? I'm gonna look about how to budget, how to pay down debt. I'm not gonna lie, unless it's basic student loan questions, that's not my forte, but you can always go to Angela's website is financialaidstrategist.com. You can always contact her there. She oftentimes has classes about getting rid of student loan debt. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know all things about all things money, but what I do try to do is make sure that when there's something I don't know, I find an expert that knows. See, I still got you. Even if I don't have you, somebody got you, and I will bring them into your life. All right. Let me just check to see if you guys had any questions about day 8. Answer them, and then we'll move on to what day 9 was. Yes, you love Brown Ambition. So yes, brownambitionpodcast.com. If you want to tune in and listen, we have a show that goes live every week. Okay, Brown Ambition, but I'll put the link in the description. Did anybody have any questions about budgeting? I'm just looking through both screens to make sure. Anybody have questions about budgeting, about paying down debt? Okay. Is a balance transfer good or bad? Laverne, it can be, if you do it properly, a balance transfer can be good. So here's how to do a balance transfer properly. So one, you have to, because one of my friends actually helped her do this, figure out one, who do you owe and how much and what's the interest rate. So let's just say, Laverne, you've got a credit card and you owe $5,000 on the credit card and the interest rate is 25%, which is pretty high. And you're like, you know what? My credit score is okay. Let me see if I can lower this interest rate. And here's why you want to lower the interest rate, because if you're paying 25% interest, that means for every dollar that you send toward the debt, 25 cents is going toward the pocket of the person that you owe, not the debt. So you're not really putting $1 on the debt, you're putting 75 cents on the debt. So the lower your interest rate, the more of the money that you're paying is actually going toward the debt, the less of the money is going to the person that you're owing. So you owe this $5,000, your interest rate is currently 25%, and you go to like a website like a Credit Sesame or something like that, right? And you can look to see what balance transfer cards are out there. And so you have to have decent credit to transfer your balance, because basically transferring your balance is it's literally what it sounds like. It's taking that $5,000 that you owe and putting it on a different card, right? And so the idea is that different card should have a lower interest rate than the card you already have. So you might go from 25% interest to 10% interest, which means now instead of 25 cents going to the debt and not going to the collector or whoever it is that you owe versus the debt, only 10 cents is going to them and 90 cents is actually going to pay down the debt. So the lower your interest rate, the faster you'll pay down your debt. So I've done balance transfers for myself personally, especially when there's debt that I'm like, ooh, I remember at one point I had $35,000 in credit card debt. I was like, yikes. So one of the things I did was I knew that my credit score was about to drop because I had just stopped paying my mortgage because I didn't have a job. I'd lost my job. And I said, okay, I've got this credit card debt. I'm not gonna be able to afford my mortgage. In about a month or two, my credit score is about to tank. Before that happens, while my score is still decent, let me get I think I got 2 balance transfer cards. So 2 cards that I was able to qualify with at that time, my current credit score. I was able to qualify for a 2 cards, one 0% interest and another 0% interest. One was like 12 months. The other one was like, I don't know, however many months. Let's just say both of them were 12 months. So I qualified for that before my credit score tanked. And then I transferred the balance over and I got 0% interest. So that meant all of the money that I paid toward the card went directly toward my debt and not the person that I was borrowing money from. A 0% interest rate means 0% of your money is going toward the person that you owe, and all of it is going toward the debt that you're paying down. And so that's what I did. And it helped me because people always ask, how was I able to pay off $35,000 in like 2.5, 3 years? It was because I had those 0% interest rate cards and I was putting as much money toward them as possible. So, yep. Somebody said, hi, has it started? Somebody type Anise and just say, refresh your screen, because she said she can't see. Let me see. I'm just looking at some of your questions. Let's see. The hard part is getting started. Very true. So yes, C. Greer said that I think the hard part is just starting. Most are scared to take the very first step, which is why sisterhood is so important. I agree. I agree that, like I said, to me, the three tools, or the three, I don't know if tools is the right word. The three things, I guess I'll say, that you need, for me anyway, that I found that will really help and aid in your success are knowledge, access, community. Knowledge, because when you know better, you do better, right? So that's what the knowledge, that's what the Live Richer Challenge is all about providing the knowledge. Access, right? I just told y'all, I'm not a student loan expert, but I know someone who is. That's access. That is opening the door that you might not have the key to, but I have the key, so I open the door for you. That's access, right? And then community. We work best in community. It's one thing to work out by yourself. It's another thing to have your girlfriend say, hey, girl, I know you don't feel like it today, but we going, right? Knowledge, access, to community. And so, but at the end of the day, though, it's you that has to do, nothing can be done for you automatically. You have to take steps yourself. Okay, so if you're just joining me, hi, I'm Tiffany, the Budgetnista. Hey, 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 we're going over week 2 of the Live Richer Challenge. We just finished week 2. Congratulations. I'm proud of you guys that have kept up this far. Don't worry if you're a little bit behind. If you've done even one step, you're one step closer to what your financial goals are. All right, so let's see. When budgeting on a weekly pay, should you budget each week or monthly? I like to budget each week. Miss Thias, I like to budget when my money comes in, right? And so, like right now, I get paid typically kind of monthly because I work for myself. So it's a little bit different. So, but I like to budget. When I was a teacher and I got paid every 2 weeks, I had a budget for every 2 weeks because I didn't like for my money to sit long without placing it somewhere. All right. You can't seem to balance your budget. What specifically are your issues, Dolores, so I can help out with that? I'm just looking to see any other questions. Okay, so I only have $800 on the credit. Ooh, it went away. Oh, so whoever's asking the $800 credit question, it went away. Oh, love this community. Well, Rhonda, we love you too, Miss Smith. Okay, so let's go over day 9. I just went over day 8. Let's go over day 9. You guys can ask questions. That's what today is for. It's a live Q&A. So day 9 was, so there's 2 parts about raising your net worth, right? It's reducing your debt, increasing how much you have as far as income or money or assets. So I didn't want to spend too much time on just reducing debt because in our community, and when our community, there is a heavy focus on debt reduction, which is cute and cool, but that should not be the only focus because the world at large, their main focus is increasing wealth. And if you want wealth, that's what you have to focus on. And because if all you focus on is getting debt free, that's all you'll be, And so I want us to focus more than just reducing debt. So I only spent 1 day of this week really talking about reducing debt. And the rest of the days, we talked about increasing wealth. Here, I'll give you an example. Here, excuse me, my nose. I got a daggone runny nose because the flu season. Hold on. Because don't nobody want to see you wipe your nose. All right, so I'll give you an example. So I owed $50,000 in student loan debt. I'm 38 now. I was 27, 28, around that age when I graduated from my master's. That's where the debt is from. Because I already paid off my undergrad debt. So $50,000, 29 years old. Woohoo! I got my master's. I thought I was going to be a principal, but clearly that didn't work out. But so at that age, at 29, is the same year that I also lost my job. So here I was, no income, debt. And I could have decided I was going to take the next few years to get debt free because that's what we do. I want to get debt free. I want to get debt free, right? That's like our big thing. I want to get debt free. And that was very tempting. So what I did decide was I was not going to get debt free completely. I was going to work on getting debt free, credit card debt free, but I wasn't going to worry about my student loans and even my mortgage. I wasn't going to worry about that too much. Because I said, I'm going to work on student loan debt, credit card debt, because that debt is really dangerous because it tends to have the higher interest rate. But what I'm going to focus on the other side is growing wealth. And so I started my businesses. So I literally put the $50,000 I owed to student loan debt kind of like on the back burner. I either paid the minimum or deferred it or, you know, like whatever. Although Angela tells us not to defer, that you should try to apply for a program. But either way, I did not make my student loan debt payoff a priority. I didn't. I made credit card debt a priority because that's where the interest rate is the highest. And I made growing wealth a priority. So from 29 to 33, I focus on getting rid of my student loan debt, growing my business, getting rid of student loan, growing my business, getting rid of student loan, growing my business. Meanwhile, ask me why I'm in, are these pajamas? My husband bought me these. I think these are, what are they called? Long johns. Long johns. Why am I wearing long johns? It's cold. But they're so cute. And I have, literally, I'm wearing matching pants. I would stand up, but you guys would be like, Tiffany, are you 5? I am. So I focus on those two things. And guess what? So now I've got 2 successful businesses, depending when you're watching this. And I have enough because of my businesses to pay off my student loan debt in cash. So if I just focused on getting debt free, then I probably would be like, you know, gotten rid of my student loan debt, but I would also still be broke because all I would be is debt free, but no money, no real net worth. But instead, I focused on getting rid of some of my debt, the debt that was the most expensive, and focus the other half on the other half of the net worth equation, the asset half, and grew my business. Because if you make enough wealth and you you increase your asset, you can use your asset to help pay down some of the debt. But if you get debt free, you can't use your debt free to gain asset. You see? You'll see? Right? So I want to make sure that we're opening up our minds and we're not, see that, opening up our minds, right? I want to make sure that we're opening up our minds and not just focusing on one half of the net worth equation. Net worth is increase asset, decrease debt. This is what I found with us. We will decrease debt. Yeah, I'm debt free, but you're still here because you ain't got no assets. So you want to be doing both, but really even focusing more energy on the increased asset. Because with increased asset, you can pay off your debt quickly, right? So I want to make sure, and that's why in the challenge, like I said, this week, we only talked about debt on the first day of this week. Every other day, we talked about increasing asset because I wanted you to really understand that that's what was most important, right? Okay, so day 9 was learning to negotiate to get a raise at your job. So they say, oh, I forgot the statistic, but it's like 70% of women never negotiate when it comes to when it's time to get hired. You need to negotiate. And so like I gave you all the tips and all that kind of stuff are inside day 9, right? And so here's the thing about negotiating. Sometimes we're nervous because we think like it's going to be rude or, I mean, I know, I just didn't think that there was money. I'm like, because in my mind, if they had it, they would just give it, right? Let me tell you, when I first started working as a teacher, I was 21, 22 years old. And I was interviewing at different childcare centers. And there was one childcare center in Plainfield, New Jersey in particular that I really liked. I was like, oh, I like this center. So I was like young, energetic. I mean, I'm energetic now, but even more so then. So I remember the childcare center director like loved me because, you know, when you're teaching 3- and 4-year-olds, you want to have somebody who was like, yes, Miss Tiffany, right? And so that's how I was. And I did like a test teaching where like they put me in a classroom and they observed me for the day. And she was like, oh my God, she loved me so much. She actually wanted to put her son, who was 3 at the time, in my classroom, right? So anyway, so it came time. She said, yes, Tiffany, we'd love to hire you. She brought out a chart. Let's just pretend this is the chart. This is the back of my book. She brought out a chart. And the chart said, number of years of experience, level of education. This is what you make. And she said, this is the chart from the government. Meanwhile, I'm 21, so I don't know. That's the government chart. And I said, okay, well, who am I to say? That's the government chart. And it said $32,000 a year, right? So I said, okay. And I told her, okay, you know, let me think about it. But I was pretty much going to take it because the chart said $32,000. That's what you get. So my father, who was a CFO and at a nonprofit in Newark, New Jersey, when I told him I wanted to be a teacher, he was like, well, the nonprofit that I work for, we also have childcare centers. So why don't you just work for the nonprofit where I work? And I said, okay. So I you know, whatever, interviewed, I got it. And I was expecting her, the lady, when she was hiring me, to give me the chart because clearly the government chart is issued to everyone. Everyone got the government chart, right? According to Plainfield lady. So and I said, well, how much? And they were like, you start at 39,000. I said, oh, 39,000? That's even cuter. So peep this. Reel it in. I go back to Plainfield lady, $32,000 lady. And of course I'm going to tell her, well, girl, that 32,000 is cute, but over here in Newark, they're about to pay me 39, right? So I tell her, I said, hey, thank you so much, Plainfield lady. But I actually found another position. They're going to pay me 39. Peep what Plainfield lady told me. The lady with the chart, the lady with the government said, the lady with the, this is what it is, you can't do nothing about it. Peep what she told me. No, I wanted you to work for us. I want to put my son in your classroom. Oh my God. You know what if we could pay you 35? Let me do the numbers. Let me carry the 1, add the 2. You know, I think we could push it to 36. And I remember being like, I'm confused. What the chart? The chart with the years of service and how much education I have, the chart that the government, that the chart said 32, but the chart, ain't no chart. And even if there is a chart, if somebody wants you and you prove value, they will shift. And she said the chart does say that, but we're going to pull money from here and money from here and money from here and money from here. And we're going to give you more because that's how much we want you. Child. I said, child, right? And so it was such a valuable lesson. I'm so glad I learned that at 21, 22, because what that taught me is that if people see value in you and you illustrate value, that's why I hope Day 9 taught you, that they will find the money to pay you. But it's your job to illustrate value. And I illustrated value by, you know, when I did my teaching, like when they had me come in for the day and they observed me, right? I illustrated value like I was going to be a really great teacher. So it was a really great learning lesson for a young woman that like, be leery on that chart. There's always more money. And so this is what I learned and this is how I translated that into like a businesswoman, right? I remember when I first started teaching, first started the Budgetnista, there were different organizations that wouldn't even let me speak for free. And, you know, or if I asked for $500 or $1,000, they're like, ooh, clutch my pearl, child, $1,000, who you think you are? And so I started lowering my rates or whatever. And then I thought to myself, I bet you if I was Oprah, they'd give me $1,000. You know, I'm mad. I was like, you know, young. I bet you if I was Oprah, they'd give me $1,000. That's what I used to tell myself. And you're right. If I was Oprah, they would give me $1,000. Why? Because they see the value in Oprah. Not that Oprah's more valuable, but they see the value in Oprah. So it had me thinking, how do I show the value? How do you show the value? And that's how you can negotiate for more money. Because if you can show the undeniable value of what you bring to the table, you can ask for more money, ask and receive more money. Now I went from making $500 maybe to now my last speaking engagement I just booked. How much they paying me? $15,000 for the same thing I used to do that I used to beg for $500. Same Tiffany, same silliness, same information, right? Now making $15,000. I don't. Percentages is not my friend, so I don't know what that percent is. 20% more. I don't know, girl, but it's a lot, right? But it's the same Tiffany. But why? Because there's a different perceived value. Because I spent all of these years showing my value, right? All of these years using social media and marketing and just showing up and doing the work and proving my value, right? And so that's really key when you're negotiating. So that was Day 9, learning how to negotiate. So even if you don't have a job, you know, even if you don't have, you know, you're not negotiating at work, still, if you have your own business, how do you negotiate and show your value? And so, you know, that's by showing your value. All right, so that was Day 9. Let me see. Okay, I'm just looking. Any questions? Has it started? Yeah, she's been there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Tiffany. How long will this challenge be up? I've been working doubles, and this is my first day, and you're day 14. Oh, Kimberly, don't worry about it. The thing about the challenge is this. I know everybody's busy. So the challenge is automated as well. So if at any moment you're like, child, I can't, I can't, you can stop and restart, you know? So don't think the challenge is not meant to add stress to your life. The challenge is meant to be done at your own pace. So at any moment you can start over from day 1. You're able to do so. Okay. Okay. So don't worry about that, you know? So there's no rush. I rather that you do it right than you rush through it. So, all right. So that was Day 9. Oh, she said, Tiffany, you are amazing. You have taught me so much. Oh, thanks, K King. That's the preschool teacher. See, now you know why she wanted me to teach her son, right? Mm-hmm. because all it is, perceived value. The chart, I'll never forget that. Playing field lady, the chart said, she tried to play me. That's what she tried to do. But she got played. No, I'm sure she's fine. Okay, day 10 was all about, oh, this is one of my favorite days. Day 10 was entrepreneurship. Day 10 from the book that you can purchase on Amazon. The link for this book is also in the video, also in the description of this video. So day 10 is all about entrepreneurship. So we talked, what I love about day 10 is it wasn't so much, well, some of you guys are already entrepreneurs, right? But it was more so about figuring out, you know, what are some ways that you can grow a business? Like, what are some things that you can do? And so with day 10, that was really exciting. I gave you, I gave you this goal, mind map, right? And so mind map is you in the middle, and it's kind of like you put all of your things kind of like around. So like your expertise, your skills, qualities, and passions. And you basically start to map out not specifically what you can open a business in, but where your strengths lie. So that's really important, because I found that if you can figure out where your strengths lie, you know, if you're interested in starting a business, that's going to help, right? And so in my mind map, if I was going to do it, like my passion is helping, teaching, my abilities, teaching, obviously, my personality. And so like really figuring out all of these things, if I kind of pull them all together, what could that possibly be a business in? And that's what I did. And that's why I started the Budgetnista, because it combined helping people, it combined financial education, which I was passionate about, it combined teaching, it combined my personality, which is silly, right? And so all of that combined helped me to see, because in the beginning, I remember thinking that I was going to be an event planner, which houseway, because I am not organized, because that needs to be on the event planner list. And so that didn't work out. So fill out the mind map and share it. What I loved is I saw a number of y'all fill out the mind map, share it on in our Dreamcatcher group, and ask folks, looking at this, what do you think I could do as a business, right? And so I think that's a really good idea. So if you haven't done it, do it. Share your mind map. Because sometimes you need someone to take a step back and look at your qualities for themselves. So that way you get like just a bigger picture of what you bring to the table and what you can possibly monetize. So that was day 10, entrepreneurship. It was like my favorite day because of that mind map. So that was day 10. Day 11, which is day 11 in Espanol, for those of you who don't know. Bilingual, a little bit. Day 11, I'm just seeing if there's any questions. Oh, she said, Peter Gay said the entrepreneur piece was my favorite part of the challenge. Yes. How do you balance building a new business while reducing your debt, especially when it takes money to grow a business? Good question, Peter. We're going to put a little napkin in day 11 so we could answer your question. That's actually a really good question. So here's the thing. I believe in simple and soon. I believe that when you're starting a business, you have to ask yourself, how can you actionize or start the business without spending much money? So for example, you want to open a bakery, let's just say. Okay, well, that costs a lot of money to get the bakery and the rent and then can you make cakes? Can you make cakes? Make a cake for a friend at her birthday party, have your card in front, or like, you know, have maybe your daughter's a really good artist and she puts like, you know, cakes by PETA in the front, taking pictures, post them on social. So these are things that are fairly inexpensive. There's a difference between looking like a business and having a business. I'm gonna say that again. You can look like a business or you can have a business. Here's a looking like a business. You got your website cute, you got your pens and your cards and your this and your that and your pay and your this. All of these like materials that you have to look like a business, right? And here's a business. There's a little girl down the street named KK. KK braids hair on the weekends. KK is 12. No, KK probably 14. And her mother doesn't let her do stuff during the weekday because she has school. But on the weekends, KK has a little line waiting to get people to get their hair braided. She charges like $20 to $25 a head. KK has a business. You with your business card and your pens and your materials and your website and all that. If you're not selling that, you ain't got a business. KK has a business. You want to know why KK has a business? Because KK has a product or service that people want and pay for it. Product or service that people want and pay for it. That and pay for it is what makes KK a business and what makes other people who just have stuff that look like a business. You see what I mean? So it's really important that especially for new entrepreneurs, only invest and spend money in things where there's a direct return on investment. So ROI, return on investment. That's what ROI means, which means that I'm not going to put money into a website right away. If I want to start a bakery, I'm going to buy flour, eggs, sugar, whatever else goes into a cake, because I can put those things that I bought together, make a cake, and sell it right away. Return on investment. So in the beginning, that's how you balance that, Peter, as you're paying down debt. If you're going to put money into a business, and when you first start, at least this is my observation, is to only put money into things that are going to, in the beginning, that are going to give you a direct return on investment. And then later you can go to those other things. Got it? Got it? Got it? And if you need your hair braided, holla at me. I'm going to tell KK. All right. Day 11. Start investing your money and grow your net worth. So on day 11, we talked about ways to invest. So there are great apps like Acorns. There's websites like Betterment and Wealthfront, and because not everybody knows how to invest, and that's okay, but there are literally automated, they call them robo-advisors. There are automated systems that are set up that you can literally put your money in. So I think the one I gave you at the time was Acorns, right? And so it literally will take it'll round up. So if you spend $5 and 75 cents at the grocery store, it will take that 25 cents, round up to the next dollar, and invest it for you based upon whatever you filled out when you signed up. And so these are just great ways to get started investing. It's just an easy entry into investing if you don't know how to do it. Another thing I hope you got on day 11, I know I keep saying this because I don't know how long it's going to be free. Also on day 11, there's a woman named Alanya. Oh, Alanya, I forgot your last name. So Alanya is one of my investment experts. She's actually a member of the Live Richer Academy. She is one of the instructors in the Live Richer Academy. And Alanya is amazing. And on that day, she taught a basic investing lesson. It was amazing. So that video is inside day 11, right? So watch that. And 2 or 3, remember to get your ElleVest free investment plan. I cannot stress that enough. I don't know how long it's going to be free for. I hope it's going to be free for a long time. But the link is also for that. It's in the description of this video. Somebody asked me, how was I able to, they asked, how was I able to see how I could get to, I think I put down, I want to invest with $3 million. I want to have a retirement account of $3 million by the time I'm ready to retire. And how was I able to get that with ElleVest? So it was easy. When you log into ElleVest, it's literally less than 5 minutes to get your free investment plan. So you log into ElleVest, use the link in the description of this video. And here's why. A couple of reasons why you use the link, because I don't know where it is on the ElleVest website. And 2, ElleVest is one of our partners. So one of the ways that we're able to keep all of this FREE free is that I look for partnerships with resources that I was already going to use. So if I'm already going to use a resource, I reach out to that company and say, hey girl, I'm gonna put you in this resource. Do you guys have something called the referral program where, if I use you as a resource, which I'm going to do anyway, but maybe you have something where when someone signs up under me, I get money. And so they happen to have it, which I was like, woohoo. Not everyone does. There's a bunch of stuff that I share with you guys that I reached out to them and they didn't have a referral program, but you guys still get it, So that's just one of the ways we use to offset the cost of the academy. And so try to use our ElleVest link so that way it helps to offset giving away all that's free. So like I said, it's a free investment plan. And the way that it works is that you go on, I think they let you choose between 5 goals. Do you want to pay for school, or what's your goals for retirement? Is your goal for wealth? Is your goal for, there's a bunch of them. So I chose 2 goals when I did my free investment plan. I chose retirement and growing wealth. And there was a bunch of other ones. And so I said, I was able to set how much I wanted to have by what time frame. And then it told me, well, Tiffany, if you want to have $3 million in your retirement plan by the time you're 65, you need to set aside this much money a month in these type of investment vehicles. Hello, free. Where you gonna get that? Because honestly, I have a financial advisor, Frank. Hey, Frank. And we sat down and we did my investment plan, and Frank charged me $1,200 because honestly, investment plans are typically not free. They go anywhere from $1,000, and I see them go upwards of $5,000, depending on how detailed it is. So investment plans are typically not free, and this one is free because ElleVest is the bomb. This is why I was going to share with you guys anyway. But use our link so we can put a little coin back in the challenge, so I can continue to do challenge stuff for free. Alanya Kohlberg, thank you, Tamara. Woo, child, I got the worst memory. So yes, Alanya Kohlberg, yes, she has a company called Bottom Up Wealth, and she teaches investing, but she's also an instructor inside of our Live Richer Academy, which we'll talk about later. All right, so that was day 11. That was investing. So day 12 in the book that you can get on Amazon is side hustles. Oh, this is like my second favorite day. So side hustles are for folks who you don't necessarily want to be a business owner because it's a lot. Like before I came live today, I was in the bed like, I'm tired. I'm tired. I am, because I've been like the challenge. When the challenge is live, child, it is like I have to put. It's like, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Whatever that thing you put in your vein, it takes all your blood out. I don't even know if there's such a thing as that, but that's what it feels like, right? So entrepreneurship is not for the weary or the faint of heart, child. It's a lot of work. And so entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but everybody can have a little side hustle. So when I used to teach preschool, my side hustle was tutoring, because it's such a great, easy side hustle, right? So you teach, and then tutoring is easy because parents are like, oh, you're already a teacher. This is great. Because when you get a side hustle and something that is related to what you already do, you can tend to charge more. And plus, there's not a learning curve of learning how to teach, right? Or learning how to do whatever it is that you already know how to do. So, oh, that's a good question, fam. I'm gonna answer that. So that was the day 12, side hustles, figuring out different side hustles that you can do. There are, I think I've worked on a bunch of them. Babysitting, buying and flipping items. There's a young man, I just saw this ad that he actually goes to Walmart, gets stuff on sale, and then resells them on, I don't know if it's eBay or whatever. Yes, child, you can literally go to some discount places and buy. So my business partner, Jabril, when he was 15, 16, one of his first businesses, he said that, remember when Furbies first came out and they were like really big? Well, where he lived in Chicago, there was a dollar store by him that was selling Furbies. So he asked his dad for Jordans, and his dad said, you tried it? No. And so instead he saw, I've seen Furbies all over TV. Everybody's going crazy for Furbies, but I also see Furbies at my local dollar store, Southside Chicago. So he realized that he asked his dad, so instead of giving me money for Jordans, can you give me $40 to buy these Furbies? This is what I want to do. So his dad said, okay. Bought these Furbies, sold them on eBay. I don't know what Furbies went for at the time, maybe $5, $10, whatever. Sold them on eBay, flipped his money. That's a great way. And so he kept doing things like that, finding things that he could find at low cost one other place and then reselling them online for a high cost. And honestly, at the age of, I hope I'm allowed to tell the story, but whatever, I'm telling it. At the age of 17, he did that so well at doing that, flipping items online, that he bought himself a car. A little bad behind, right? Bought himself a whole car and told his mother, like, a car is going to be coming to the house, because he was 17 and too young to sign for it. But meanwhile, I bought it, right? A car is going to be coming to the house. Could you sign for it? It's mine. You can't even drive it. And so since then, he has been on the business train for the longest. Can you imagine? A car. Mom, I bought a car, but I'm too young to drive or sign for it. Could you sign for it? So that was day 12, side hustles. So you don't have to quit your job. You don't have to, Sandy, the side hustle queen, she teaches a side hustles course, and she shares a lot of information on day 12 to teach you how to start side hustling. All right, let's see. Okay, day 13 was just the relaxed review. And day 14 is where we are now. So let me answer. What happened? Let me answer some questions. Let's see. We're gonna remove you. Okay. Don't worry about that, girls. We're gonna somebody named Frank. Not my Frank was being disrespectful in the comments, but that's okay. Cause he's blocked. How you gonna hate from outside the club, Frank? How? I don't be worrying about people like that, because I'm living my best life. For real, I don't. People always gonna come for you. And so, I mean, you could either, I don't know, let them come from you back there, or, you can let them mess up your life, child. I'm just living my life like it's golden. All right, so let's see, let's answer some questions. Okay, yes, Block Nation. Okay, so there was a question from, okay, Fem, when do you advise, oh my goodness, my best friend is trying to call me. No, are you kidding me? Oh no, I hope it didn't cancel. Oh, resume. I'm sorry for those of you who are watching. My best friend's trying to call me. I'm live, girl. Okay, when do you advise that someone gets a trust when they buy their first home, when they get married, they have their first child? Well, for those of you who are asking, a trust is almost like a safe where you put your assets in so it can go from one person to the next based upon your specifications. So a lot of people create trust especially when they have wealth and they don't want their wealth to be decided upon by anyone but themselves, right? So that's what a trust is, right? And so a trust, so if this is what it depends, Fem, like it depends on what kind of assets that you have. Like, if you have an asset that you want to pass from yourself to whomever, and it's a significant amount of assets, then, I mean, even now these days they have ways to create, because trust can be expensive to create. So you want to make sure that it's worth it, but there's something called like trust egg. And there was another one where it's not as expensive. It's like $199 to create a trust. So I would say that it depends. It's just when you have the assets that you want to pass from one person to the next, and you want to be able to put your assets in this safe space, because with the trust, you'll say that my child is only going to get access at this point in time. And it doesn't mean you can't update the instructions to the trust. So you can get it as soon as you like, as soon as you like. I don't have a trust right now, but so I would say for myself, honestly, I probably will have a trust when I have my first child. So, but it all just depends. All right. So what's more of a priority? Debt-free, savings, investing. So, what's your first priority? Honestly, I don't really believe that there's like a priority that's split. This is what I say. Debt-free, an automated plan, but that shouldn't be the first. That's not the only thing that's really important. Well, let me say this: that first things first, you should have like an emergency plan, savings, right? So like $1,000, something to take the edge off should an emergency hit. So make sure you have that. And then you want to work on like your debt plan. And what does that look like? So all of your money should not be going towards your debt plan, but you want to put a debt plan in place. But equally as important is your investments, because you cannot grow wealth and you cannot sustain yourself just by being debt free, because you can owe nothing, but also own nothing. I'm going to say that again. You can owe nothing, but also own nothing, So that's really important. Yes. So Nadia asked a question. I've seen people say to pay the bill with the highest interest rate first, as opposed to the lowest balance first when doing the snowball method, which is best. Nadia, it depends. So if you pay off the bill with the highest interest rate, you are paying off the more expensive bill, which makes logical sense. I personally like to appeal to your emotions, because that's how you got into debt in the first place. So I always suggest that people pay the lowest debt first, because you're going to have earlier success. Because what if the bill with the highest interest rate is $100,000 and that's the bill you're working on? You're going to be working on a long time. And what if you have another debt that's $1,000? I'd much rather you work on that debt that you're going to pay off much sooner. So you can because we get energized when we have success. So then you can start to tackle the higher and higher debts, because you have some success, some win at your back, So logically, paying off the debt with the highest interest rate is definitely the best idea. But emotionally, paying off the debt with the lowest balance is the better idea. So it all depends on you. Yes, Lord. She said, my question. So Nancy, my question, I work 2 jobs. Every time I get paid, I never know where money goes. I do have bills, pay student loans. What advice can you give me? Nancy, are you doing the challenge? I'm about to judge you, Nancy, because on day 8, I gave you day 1 of the Live With Your Challenge, which shows you how to create a budget, right? And so that's going to be really, really, really important. So That's like literally that, because really what it is, Nancy, is that you need a budget. A budget is just a physical picture of where your money is going. Okay. So that's what I would suggest. Like it's that you have to sit down and create a budget to figure out specifically where it's going on paper, not a budget in your head, like a physical budget. Okay. All right. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, so hey Tiffany, my percentage of credit card debt combined is over 25%. I can borrow from my 401k at 4%. What's your opinion on that? Pam, I don't really like borrowing money from your 401k. Here's why. It is your younger self's job to look after your older self. Picture this. I feel like I'm about Golden Girls. Remember what was her name? Estelle Getty, but her name was Sophia. Picture this. Sicily, 1979, right? Picture this, Tiffany, right? So I want you to picture yourself living with your grandma. You and Granny are living in the same house, and you're young and popping, and your grandma, which is your older self, is living with you. So you say, you know what? I'm going to work a regular job, and I instead of doing what I need to do now, what I could do now, I'm actually going to borrow money from my grandma's bank account. Even though grandma is 80 years old and grandma can't work. But I'm going to borrow money from her bank account and hope I can pay it back. And if I can't pay it back, guess granny ain't eating lunch today. That's what borrowing from your 401k is like. It is your younger self borrowing from your older self. And your older self doesn't have as many options to work and make money as your younger self. It is better that you put the work in now, whatever that looks like. Hard, 2 double shifts, all of that. I get it. It's a lot. But it's a lot for your younger self. Imagine for your older self. You have way less options when you're older. So I really don't like your younger self borrowing from your older self, which is taking your 401k, because your 401k is really set aside for your older self. Okay? Okay. All right. So let me see. I'm going to do a few more questions. Oh my gosh. Some people are we're just going to report you. Hold on. This is what I get for having stuff live. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what else. How do I get rid of a payday loan? Dolores, you're likely probably honestly going to have to pay it off. You're likely just going to have to, unless if it was illegally obtained or they got it from you, or they charge you illegally, you're going to probably have to pay it off. Payday loans, honestly, I know sometimes we find ourselves in really difficult positions, but they are the worst on the worst on the worst. So I would Google, because I know in some states payday loans are actually illegal. So I would Google to see if a payday loan is illegal in my state. So if it's legal in your state, a payday loan, then you can hit them back with, this loan was illegally obtained. I don't owe you, But if you do, and I know that sorry, some people are just in here acting up. I know that sometimes you feel like you have no choice, but here's the thing about some payday loans. Literally, some payday loans will charge you like 100%, meaning that you borrow $100, you owe them $200. So if you had to borrow $100, how are you gonna have $200 6 months from now, a year from now, a month from now? You're not gonna have it. And so they can't be more predatory. I don't even know why they're legal. They're legal in some states because they're so predatory. It's just literally impossible to pay them off. There's some payday loans that won't even let you prepay, meaning pay them off when you actually have the money. They're set up to literally for you to always owe more and more and more and more and more. No matter how much your back is against the wall, like a payday loan is only going to put your back even more against the wall. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to do some more research about what you can do, but I would start with just making sure that a payday loan is even legal in your state, because if it's not, then you can say, I don't have to pay you. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me take a couple more questions. I would like to pay toward the principal to get rid of the interest. However, no one else. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. Some people, I'm like, is this block button not working? Block! Remove, sorry. Why? No. I want to block this person. Report. Sorry. Some people are just harassing, and I'm just like, I just want to block them. Why can't they be blocked? Report this person. My bad. So I'm just letting you know. Report. Okay. Yes. And we're actually going to meet this person. Put this user in timeout. Okay. So, yes. All right. For 33 seconds, child, these people don't know how to, I'm trying to focus, but they acting crazy here. So yeah, let's see. Let me see. Let's see. My question is, oh no, we did that one already. I'm gonna answer just like maybe one more question because I also have the Live Richer Academy tonight. And so for those of you who don't know, we have this online academy called the Live Richer Academy. And yes, we have this online academy called the Live Richer Academy. And it is this online school that I created to give you the three things that I say you need for success, right? Knowledge. So I only know but so much. So I have other experts in there, which provides the second thing, access, right? And so in order for you to go from one room to the next, oftentimes somebody has to open the door for you, and community. And so there's actually a private Facebook community for the Live Richer Academy. So here's the thing. Every time I mention the Live Richer Academy, a bunch of you run over to, oh, hold on. This is like a crazy night. Everybody's calling me. Every time I mention the Live Richer Academy, a bunch of you run over to our private Facebook group and ask to join. But the thing about the Live Richer Academy that it's not free. So you can't join the Facebook group because one of the questions is going to ask, are you a paid member of the Live Richer Academy? It's just a monthly fee. Right now, currently it's $9.99 a month. So $9.99 a month. So under $10 a month. And if you sign up for 6 months, you get 1 month free. If you sign up for 12 months, you get 2 months free. The 6 month and the 12-month membership actually makes your academy right now it's like 27 cents a day. So if you can put a quarter and 2 pennies in a jar, you can afford the academy right now. Like, I don't know if you're doing this challenge years from now, 10 years from now, whatever, it might be more. Sorry. So right now the academy is $9.99. And that's the only thing I can promise, because as the academy grows, I really try to keep the cost of the academy as low as possible so you can have more access. Oh my gosh, Logan, if you're watching this, I see you. I see you. I'm live. One of my team members is calling me because I'm supposed to be live on the academy in a minute. So the Live Richer Academy, it's an online school. And what I do is like how I gave you access to Angela during the challenge. I gave you access to Alanya. I have so many amazing, dope instructors inside the academy. And they teach the majority of the courses, and I just bring them together because I've been really fortunate to run in really amazing circles of people who are 10 times smarter than me when it comes to specific things. If you're interested in learning more about the academy or joining it, you can go to joinlra.com. The description for the academy is in this video. In the description of this video. But somebody type it in for me. Joinlra.com. Okay. So there's like a private. She said, oh, yeah, thank you, because she said the academy is well worth the price, right? That's why I said it's not going to stay $9.99 for long. The good thing, though, is if you lock in your rate, like whatever rate it is now, I mean, I hope for those of you watching, a year from now, which I know it's not going to be. But for $9.99 a month, so whatever rate you lock in as the academy grows, you will always have that rate. That's the good thing about the academy. So right now we have about 10,000 students, so it's really dope. And as we go to 20,000 and grow and grow and grow, oh, thank you, Anissa. She said the academy is the best. Is there a link for LRA? Yes. So there's a link for the academy. It's joinlra.com. Someone type that in, joinlra.com. And for ElleVest, to get your free investment plan, you can go to, there's a link for the investment plan in the description of this video. All right. Okay, Nikki asked, how can I build up my credit? So Nikki, we actually have a Live Richer challenge called the Credit Edition. If you want to see all of the challenges, they're at livericherchallenge.com. You see all of them listed, and you can choose whatever one you want. But finish this one first. No, you're going to leave it at that. I'm not going to leave it at that $9.99 forever. I'm going to try. The thing is this with business. I'm going to leave you with two things. The thing is this with business. As businesses grow, they cost more money. And so I have I'm actually hiring a new finance person, but I have customer support. So as we get more and more people, we need more and more customer support. As we get more and more folks come on, the platform that I use for the academy charges me more money. And so as we grow, it costs more money to run it. And so because it costs more money to run it, I have to charge more. That's just how businesses work, right? So I try to keep the cost of the academy as low as I can. But we've been growing. Just the other day, 100 people signed up. Literally 2 days ago, 100 people. And so as we grow, honestly, and I'm actually hiring, we just did some interviews. We're hiring like 3 or 4 new people. So if I have to pay them, where's that money going to come from? I have to charge more. And so that's why I tell people, like, if you're interested in the academy, sign up, because it cannot stay at this price forever. Because, I mean, and not even for long, quite honestly. I suspect we're going to raise the prices pretty soon, because as we're growing, I mean, which is a good thing that we're growing. But like I said, with growth also increases the cost to run it. So I always try to keep the cost as low as possible to keep business running. But, you know, at the same time, I can't literally, at one point, the academy, I was charging so little that I was actually paying to keep it open, and I was going to close it all together. And I said, that's not a smart business move. So that's real question. And then 2, because I really have to go to the academy. So for the academy members, that we call ourselves dream builders. So a dream catcher is what you are right now. A dream builder is when you elevate to the next level and join the academy. And so for the academy members, I do this live every single Sunday, but with an expert. So I think this Sunday we're talking about how to get government contracts. So that's the kind of dope stuff we have inside the academy. So I do it every single Sunday. And so I wanted to leave you with this, because I've been thinking about this a lot today. Now, sometimes I think that women think, I see a lot of women business owners, just women in general, they think that if they're good, they will grow wealth. You know what I mean? Like, meaning, like, if I'm good, I have a good heart, that, you know, I'm kind to people, whatever. Oh my goodness. Somebody tell Logan, I'm live, Logan, I'm coming. See, like, literally my member of the, so every Sunday when I do the Ask the Expert, I have a team member. She calls me, we get prepped. So she keeps calling me because I'm supposed to be there now. So this how dope. See how the academy, we're gonna be playing inside the academy. So Logan, somebody hit Logan in Slack. That's our behind the scenes messaging board. Tamara, if you're watching, hit Logan in Slack. That's how I'm gonna call her when just give me a few minutes with my dream catchers before I head over to my dream builders. The dream builders get me every week. Let the dream catchers get a little something. Yes, I know. Logan just texted me, hey, trying to call you, voicemail ring. I know, Logan, I'm coming. So here's the thing. Sometimes we believe that if we're good, that we will grow wealth. No. If we're good, you're good. Meaning that, you know, there's an intrinsic value that you'll get, you know, your heart will be more full, you know, and things like that. But wealth doesn't have anything to do with that. And somehow, and I'm saying this because I know me as a woman, I sometimes operate from that space, or I used to think that, like, well, if I'm a good person, meaning when I started my businesses, I was giving everything away for free, doing everything for free, because I was like, if I'm good, if I'm kind, I will grow wealth. That's not true. In order to grow wealth, you have to purposefully and actively grow wealth. Good and wealth have nothing to do with each other, unfortunately, because there's a lot of terrible people that are wealthy. A lot, unfortunately. So I actively try to be good, but that's separate. That's just my life. That's just who I am. That's who I want to be. But the wealth piece, I am deliberate about creating a separate plan for wealth. You have to have a separate plan for wealth, right? You have to. It's not going to happen because you're just good. It's not going to happen because you're kind. It's not going to happen. That's not how life works. Because if that was true, you wouldn't see so many terrible, mean, just crazy people who are wealthy. So if you want to grow wealth, and when I say grow wealth, I don't necessarily mean that, you know, like, because money is not everything. Believe me, I know a lot of miserable, wealthy people. I'm not talking about wealth necessarily just to have money. I'm saying, like, the type of wealth that grants you and your family freedom of choices. You and your family, like, if someone needs something, that you're able to provide for them, that you're able to help your community. That's what I use my wealth for, right? But I want us to be really clear and start to shift our mindset into thinking, like, I have to have a plan for that. It's not going to magically happen, right? And so be good. And one of the reasons why I run my company this way, and why I'm open, and the academy costs what it costs, and I give so much away for free with the Dream Catchers, is because I want to show that you can do both. Because let me tell you, I sit in some of these rooms with some of these super wealthy, mostly men, And they think that you can't be good and grow wealth, that you have to be cutthroat, you have to be ruthless, you have to lack transparency, lack kindness. All of that is mushy. Oh, Tiffany, you're so mushy, girl. Don't nobody care about all that, right? But I want to show that's not true, that you can be good and you can be wealthy. But those are two separate plans. Two separate plans. So make plans for both. So that is my aim and my goal. But I want to just leave you with that if you're waiting for your goodness to translate into financial wealth, it's not going to. You have to have a clear plan for financial wealth, just like you have to have a clear plan for goodness. Now, I want you to do both, but I don't want you to think that goodness is going to translate into wealth. It's not, and decide now what you're going to do with it. Like I said, I want to open schools. We're actually, I don't know, depending when you're watching this, but let me just drop this on you before I go. I know like I said, Logan is probably freaking out. I'm coming. So we're going to start a Live Richer Foundation. And so what I want to do, because what you guys don't know already is that 10% of like whatever money you spend with me. So if you get the academy, if you get the book, if you get any of the books, and even 10% of my income that I make, I set aside to help other people. Right. And so I was like, why can't I make it more official? So I want to start a Live Richer Foundation. And so that way you guys can help. And that way dream catchers can decide, where does this money go? And two, you can donate yourself. So just look out for that. I'm just going to leave that out for now, because I have some ideas about how I want it to go. I want kind of like half the money for us to vote on every year, maybe 2 or 3 nonprofits that we want to give half the money to, and the other half to be saved in some sort of account as scholarship money or grant money for dream catchers specifically, meaning that like you're homeless or you can't afford daycare or something like that, you can apply to the Dream Catcher Foundation because you're a dream catcher. And of course, you have to like go through all the checks and balances. And if there's money in our foundation, then we can grant as much money as we can to help dream catchers. So half the money to help others and half the money to help you. So every time you buy a book, because you're doing it anyway, you just don't realize it, because I give 10% of my income away anyway. But I want to make it more official, that you guys have a real hand in it, that I can match. Honestly, I'm saving now. I want to be able to say, this is my goal, because I like saying stuff out loud. I want to be able to say, by the time the Live Richer Foundation is out, that whatever you donate, I will match up to $100,000. That's like my goal. That whatever you match, I will match up to $100,000. And then the next year, I will match up to $200,000. Next year, I'll match up to $300,000. Like literally of my own money, that whatever you guys donate, $10, $5, whatever we can, that I can match it up to whatever. Like I said, my original goal right now is $100,000. So that means we have $200,000 plus in this grant fund or whatever. I'm still figuring it out. I'm actually working with a nonprofit advisor right now who's trying to help me organize it, because I'm not a nonprofit expert. And that money, half of that money, we decide who we gonna give it to. We vote. Is it Girl Scouts? Is it a homeless shelter? Is it a school? Whatever that is. And the other half goes into some sort of grant savings fund, where if you need help as a dream catcher, you lost your home, you lost your husband, you lost your wife, you can't afford a funeral. I don't know. I'm still, like I said, working it out. And then that way you can apply for a grant. And if there's money, then every year I want us to be at 0 by the end of the year. And then we save some more, and then I match some more. So I like to put out dreams and stuff out there. But you see, that's good. But foundation not gonna make me no money. That's not wealth. As far as financial wealth, that is me deciding I want to be good. But how can I match $100,000 if I don't also grow wealth? 2 separate tracks. Remember that. So the reason why I go hard in business is so I can go hard on the good side. Okay. So just remember that, don't hold yourself back from growing wealth thinking that it's greed or it's whatever. Or I used to think that, no, go for it, because there's going to be so many people that you can help. I want to have $1 billion brown girl business, right? I want to have $1 billion business so I can say, if we raise $1 million, I match $1 million. Or we raise 10 million, are you cute? I match 10 million. I can't do that unless I grow wealth, right? And so I don't have any shame about going hard for wealth, because I know that I want to bring it over to the good side. All right, with that, I got to go, because I know Logan is like, what are you doing? All right, y'all. I will see you next week. Continue to do the challenge. One more week. Week 3 is all about maintaining your net worth. Again, get your ElleVest investment plan while it's still free. If you want to join me in the Live Richer Academy, go to joinllra.com. So we do this every single week. Yes, Lord, finish. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right.